Howdy, everybody. My life sucks. It truly does. It really does. It's, it's every day. It's one step forward, two steps back. It's just freaking getting old, like real quick, ASAP, ASAP, freaking old. Uh, my mother got retransferred to the rehab facility because last time she fell and broke her hip, chin, cheekbone, concussion, the whole 9 yards, right? So, it, Jason, this sucks, and I'm pissed, and I'm tired of the whole frickin' process. And you keep trying to do the right thing, and you keep being treated like the redheaded stepchild, and it just frickin' sucks. And I don't even like using the word frickin'. I want it to be more emphatic. So my mother, I work today because that's what I'm required to do. I don't have full access to finances of somebody else. So I worked, basically put in a 13, 14-hour day with travel time, preparation fee, and all that stuff. And my mother was being transferred from the Naples Community Hospital to the rehab facility in Estero where she had been previously. That, in my opinion, they didn't give the greatest care. Already done videos talking about that. But I also understand my mother's brain is like fried. I can't even call it fried. It's like Jello. It's like just it's not even on the same planet as the rest of us. But so the power of attorney's been here, and he's been transitioning, or monitoring this transition process while I'm working, and I feel guilty about that. And then when she got transferred there, it was late, and then I just like, all right, well, it's closer. It's in between my employer. It's real close to where my mom lives, where I'm residing, sleeping on the floor like a redheaded stepchild. And it's about 3-4 miles away from her residence. So at least I can hit that on the way home. So I just let everybody know involved. I'll definitely try and hit that tomorrow on the way home and visit her. And for some reason, I don't, she calls me whenever she has a problem. She's always calling me. I don't know if that's a compliment or like an insult to somebody else. I don't know. It's like, all I know is she freaking calls me all the time. And she's calling me and calling me and calling me. And so, like, I've been talking to her several times today, like, I know you're in a new, this evening, so my mom's real confused with buttons, hates buttons. I wouldn't say she hates them, but she doesn't comprehend. I don't know if it's because she doesn't wear her glasses or, but she just can't comprehend the button system, the numbers, or all the symbols on a remote, or the bedside thing to call for a nurse. She just can't freaking understand that. So she keeps calling me. Now I got to keep calling this rehab facility. I'm gonna look down this little speck of something on not my DJI, my Blue Yeti, because I'm too embarrassed to look into the camera. She keeps calling me, and I don't know how to shit an answer for her. I really don't know how to shit a proper answer for her where we all can feel at home and feel happy and blessed and born again Christians. And, we've all been sprinkled fairy dust and everybody's going to live happily ever after. That's not fucking happening. That's not happening in this family. It's not happening. She's dying. She's freaking crazy. she keeps calling me. So I got to keep I've been through this process once with this facility, and I got to keep calling. And they're transferring me to the nurse. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm just not in a position where I can run up there, tell my mom calls. Can you just please, the nurse, the first time I talked to her, she was real polite and nice. She says, well, she has some type of catheter system. And I said, okay, I appreciate that. Just, if you could, just please just check on her and try and explain the button system to her, how she can call for help. And then like minutes later, she's calling me again. So she's calling me now. Yeah, let me put my phone on. I forgot. That's the one thing I forgot to do. There's a dog barking. Now I'm getting notifications. And so my mom keeps calling me. So I call him back. I was like, can you please just double check on her? Apparently she doesn't need to go number one. She needs to drop a deuce. Can you, I don't know how that works. I'm sorry for being naive. Can somebody please tend to her? She, we'll just put her on the list for the CNA to check on her. I said, no, this is her first night there coming back. You need to change your priorities. If you have a patient that needs to basically take a shit, you need to change your priorities. I said, I don't know her mental condition, but if that's what she's got to do, then it almost sounds like abuse to me if you're not going to allow her to drop a deuce. And, so I'm like, oh crap, I'm like going through it. Then she calls, my mom calls me again. I was like, Mom, they're working on it. Just give them a little time, please. And all I can do is hope and pray that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And then while this is occurring, while I'm having the conversation with the nurse, and I'm out here on the lanai, and I see the power of attorney coming, he's coming toward, I hold the finger up like, wait a minute. So that I go through that gauntlet with crap with my mom and the nurse. So I go in there and tell him, and he acts like I'm a dumbass. Like, I've already dealt with this. I'm like, oh, well, I just got off the phone, and no, she did the same thing. I said, well, yeah, the difference between the hospital and the rehab center, nurses are constantly coming in. That's one thing I mentioned before. I was like, but at the rehab center, they just come in whenever they want to freaking come in. And it's a low budget facility, obviously. So, I'm a terrible son. I can't solve my mom's problems. I can't even solve my own problems. And the person that can solve some of the problems is in there laying on a bed. Full admission, he's been dealing with this transition all day long. So I'm not saying that in a negative way. That probably came out right. That definitely did come out negative because I'm pissed off. And, but she's dying, and her brain is so freaking fried that I can't do anything. I cannot do it. I can't do anything to help her because I'm working, because I have to work. I'm told I have to work. And, but meanwhile, you just sit around and go out there and smoke your little Tiparillo cigars or whatever. And, it's just like, it's a freaking insult to my kindness mentality. So now, my mom, I don't know why I'm not saying she doesn't call the other person, but it seems like I feel like she always calls me first, or like when she fell and got injured, maybe she just remembers my name more because I live here 24/7. That's probably the situation. I'm not saying, I know I'm not the preferred son, but it just sucks. Like seeing this whole process roll out, and I didn't want to do a live on a Friday night. I really didn't want to do a recorded video. I just wanted to be pissed off and let everybody know how pissed off I am, because my life is it's going to shit real quick. And I don't like that because I have fought so hard to stay afloat, keep my head above water, try and keep her healthy and comfortable, and we all know the outcome. It's like she's going to die, I'm probably going to die, and who knows, the other guy is probably going to die too. It's like all that money, all that wealth is probably going to. I don't know who it's going to. Like state of Florida, where does it go? But it's not really right now. It's not really about wealth or money, but it's about freaking insult to your existence. That's what it's about. I'm glad I could define it somewhat. It's like an insult to my freaking existence. Every time I try to communicate in a positive way to somebody who's considered the power of attorney, which means I'm the redheaded stepchild of the freaking family, and then I get talked to like that, it pisses me off. It pisses like, well, I dealt with this at the hospital, and like okay, yeah, you're better than me. One more time, you're better than me, and I'm just trying to communicate the struggles I'm going through because apparently his phone's not blowing up. Maybe it's not blowing up because he has it off, or he just I don't know. I know my phone's blowing up all the time. I do try and call her and when I can. So yeah, I'm really pissed off. I wish people knew more. There's so much more I want to say, and I probably didn't use proper vocabulary tonight. I don't know if that's going to get me strike tonight or it just, you guys have no freaking idea what I'm going through. There's probably other people going through something similar, but I can probably tell you, based on all the crap that's happened in the last 6 years, I'm probably going through the worst case scenario right now. Just who's going to die first. And once someone dies, it's not like, okay, here's your check. No, it's a process. It's a process, it's just like, and I've been literally fighting for my financial struggle, my financial existence to just to keep my shit together. I don't even like using that term. I mean, I do like when I'm not on live videos, I have no problem talking like that. That's who I am. But when you there's so much major stuff. I'm trying to keep my business afloat. There's something called a Florida annual report. There goes the freaking dog. My financial world was so messed up prior to May 1st. I couldn't make that. So for me to keep my business afloat that I've had for probably legally 13 years or so, could be 14, I need to pay a $400 penalty, and that's got to be paid by before September 1st. And there's like so much other crap. It's been like, I don't make a ton of money at my current job, but I do incur a lot of expenses going to that job, just trying to make it happen, just trying to make it happen. And I'm just so insulted through this whole freaking process, pissed off, angry, humiliated, shamed. I don't know if I used the word embarrassed yet, but like I said before, my mom's probably going to live longer than me. And that's going to be a sad case because she's probably not going to live much longer than me. And I'm trying to keep my freaking head up. Been in a lot of coaching worlds, and there's one famous quote. Oh God, Pat Summitt said it best. keep, I'll come back to it. Something about stay focused on the prize, not the surprise, or I forget what it was. Pat Summitt had great quotes. She was is Hall of Fame women's basketball coach, but she was really smart, brilliant with quotes. But keep your eye on the prize. Something to do with keep your eye on the prize. Something. I forget the rest of the quote. I'm so sorry, because usually I'm pretty good with those motivational sports quotes, but I'm sorry to bore you guys, man. It's just like, man, it's like this something needs to give. Something needs to give, because this, on my free time, I don't have any free time. My brain does not rest. You guys do not understand. Like, my brain is always processing like what's going, like, this is my mom's my second full-time job. Then I sleep and I have nightmares. So that's basically my third full-time job. My fourth job is trying to stay vertical. It just sucks. It just sucks. This whole situation sucks. And this other person in here, sometimes he can show signs of being a decent human being, but like when I talk to him, just trying to communicate honestly, like he talks to me like I'm a freaking village idiot. And like, well, I've already dealt with it. And like, dude, like, how many times have you dealt? And you're like, you're rarely here until recently, but I'm like, he talks to me like he's already been there before. He'll tell me about things my mom's doing, about like, oh, she's mixing up her. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. I live here. I deal with that. And but it's like, it just drives me nuts that. But anyway, I'm done bitching. I'm going to get off this broadcast, and I think I've said enough and pissed off enough people. I got to go. I'm sorry. Peace out, folks.